Welcome to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We have no idea what number episode this is. I think it's 55. I think that's what we're going with. We're going with 55 here.
55.
Let's hope.
Yeah. I am Jake. I'm of course joined by my two favorite co-hosts in all of the world. Really, I can't imagine there's anybody better than you guys. So, Gage, Luke, how you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well. Can't really complain. I've been revamping some things in my life and trying to make a change. I've been working out lately, been eating better and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, all good things. Just trying to live better.
We love a healthy king. Let's go.
As I'm here eating Reese's dip pretzels.
I'm doing great. I got a new camera, guys. I'm not looking like fucking
It looks great.
HP. Like, this is crazy. What a change. And I got this for like $20. I don't know why I didn't get this last year. I was like, oh, webcam, that's too expensive. I'm gonna put it off for as long as I can. It's fucking $25. Are you kidding me? What was I thinking? I'm hyped.
Amazon.
Yep.
Crazy place.
Except I don't know where one of my textbooks is. Amazon. We might have some have some problems there.
That's right. The camera is more important.
True.
So yeah, we were actually supposed to record this yesterday, but right on cue, my microphone just stopped working for no reason. Very expensive microphone.
Mhm.
It works so well for me. I go to turn it on, just no light is coming on. I literally made a video on Sunday. It was working perfectly fine. I leave it on. I don't even touch it, guys. I leave it on my desk, and it just, I go 2 days later, go to use it, not even working. And then I go on a wild goose chase for a wire because we all think it's the wire. So I go from Staples. I go to Best Buy originally. Best Buy closes at 7. Fuck Best Buy. For 7 o'clock. That's so fucking early. Right next door is Staples, which if you haven't been in Staples in a decade, which I haven't been, it's basically just another Best Buy at this point. Like last time I went to Staples, it was just computer, like printer paper Staples, Staples and like office supplies. Yeah. Now it's like everything. Literally Best Buy. And they had like a kit for like $23. I didn't want to buy that though. So I was like, let me go check Walmart. Ran to Walmart. They didn't have it. Ran back to Staples, bought the kit because I was desperate. Come back, plug it in. Doesn't work. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then moral of the story is I had to buy a new microphone. But you know what? We're here now. It's all over.
Fight through adversity. That's what
it's all about. I don't think our listeners like truly understand the amount of technical difficulties that we experience. Like, before every single fucking recording. It's insane. Either my computer is either crashing, or when we're editing episodes, like the file corrupts. Like, it's just every single time there has to be something that goes wrong. But I guess that's why we're named Totally Unqualified. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense in the long haul.
I mean, we're doing it all ourselves. Every bit of it is coming from us. So.
Yeah, this is not professional equipment at all, people, that we are working with here.
The stuff that we've bought.
Yeah, and even worse, it's not even close to professionals dealing with it. So that's how you know that shit's gonna go bad. But we push through. We push through here. All right.
For sure.
We embrace it because we are very much unqualified. Anyway, great weekend of football. Definitely some NFL news that we're going to touch on. But before we get into that, we need to start with Guess That Player. So I got a player off the dome. You guys go ahead, ask me questions. It is an NFL player.
Let's get it quick because we got some shit to talk about.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Should be too bad. I would, if we were doing like levels of difficulty, I would put this in easy.
Easy. Okay.
Currently playing.
Yes.
Okay. Did they make the playoffs?
Yes, they did.
All right.
Okay. AFC or NFC?
AFC.
AFC. I feel like it's a Raider. Is it a Raider?
Damn. Yes. Oh my God. Fuck.
I said we need to get it done quick.
Max Crosby.
Holy shit. Yes.
Oh, let's fucking go.
What the fuck?
Let's go.
Good. Can we get a time on that?
Oh my God.
That was like.
That was some D-Wade to Bron shit right there.
Let's go.
Like a little alley-oop.
Like I knew our mental chemistry was like really clicking now, but I didn't know we could read minds on this podcast like that quick.
Oh my God.
First two guesses out the window. That. It's like Raiders, Max Crosby. Bam. All right. Yeah.
First Gage.
Great season for Max Crosby. Terrific story. 4th round pick at Eastern Michigan. Just a guy you can't help but root for. So yeah, good for Max. that is Max with 2 X's. I'm sure he's had that fucked up a bunch
which makes it that much cooler.
It does. Mad Max.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. So we are going to start it out with the Brian Flores news. If you guys haven't heard, Brian Flores is suing the Giants, Dolphins, and Broncos, and I believe as well just the NFL overall. Over for racism. So specifically, watched a couple videos from ESPN. So specifically, what Adam Schefter said is that Stephen Ross with the Dolphins was going to offer him $100,000 for every loss that he had. And of course, that's always going to go over well with a former Patriot employee. And then the Broncos, for his interview there, John Elway and another executive, I can't remember his name, showed up visually disheveled, which basically means they were very hungover from the last night. And then the Giants, if you haven't seen the text messages with Bill Belichick that Brian Flores published online, Bill Belichick basically accidentally texted Brian Flores saying, "Hey, I'm hearing that you got the Giants job." And it turned out that Brian Flores hadn't even had his interview yet with the Giants. And the text that I guess Bill had received was about Brian Daboll. So that's kind of the situation here. So Luke, I'll start with you. What are kind of your thoughts on Brian Flores going for this lawsuit?
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I mean, racism in the NFL is just about as like notable as like the Super Bowl is or something like that. I mean, they just go hand in hand, and it's been forever now. The Rooney Rule back in 2003. Think about this. At the time, I believe there were only 3 NFL coaches when the black NFL coaches at the time that the Rooney Rule was established. There's 1 black head coach in the NFL right now. It is Mike fucking Tomlin, one of the best to ever do it, right? It's disappointing, but it's not surprising to say the least. We've seen shit like this happen all the time throughout the years. And to be honest, Brian Flores probably just lost any future he had, if he had a future, which I believe he did. Probably just lost out on everything, head coaching going forward. You can't really sue, 3 NFL franchises as well as just the whole NFL entirely, and then like get a job after that. I don't know how that'll work. Maybe he ends up on a coaching staff. I hope he does, because he absolutely deserves it. But I mean, you thought that there was a reason why he wasn't getting signed as a head coach. Like, why is this guy not getting signed? You see all these other guys getting signed. Brian Flores literally just took a 1-7 team and had them become the first team to lose 7 games straight and then win 7 games straight. It's because they fought hard for him. And to hear this whole the bribing for throwing games, pretty much, that's ridiculous. And if they're able to prove that in court, which hopefully they are, he should never be an owner. You can't own a team like that afterwards. As for the Broncos situation, I don't know if he has a case there. I don't know how easy that would be to prove that.
Especially because it was a while ago.
Yeah, like I don't know if that would. You can't really do anything like that. But the Giants, that's another story. I mean, Bill Belichick, he's not in the wrong here. I think we all just kind of see Bill Belichick as like an old man that doesn't have the last names in contract.
He was kind of the middleman in the whole thing. He didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but he just kind of brought it to light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all you need to know about Bill Belichick is that he still signs his text messages BB. So BB. That's how much an old man that Bill Belichick
he's got to be running on a flip phone. He's got to be.
Does it feel like Bill Belichick
blue text?
I think it was blue. I think he does have an iPhone.
Okay, so he's an iPhone. There you go.
But,
good for Bill. Good for Bill.
Does it feel like Bill Belichick low key could have done it on purpose?
All right.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Here's the thing. People are saying, "Oh, this ruined Brian Flores' career in the NFL," which okay, maybe. But I feel like Bill would 100% hire him back as a defensive coordinator. Like I think Bill Belichick would have no reservations to hire him baim back as a defensive coordinator.
I think that there's little chance just because of everything going on, but I genuinely think that there's still teams that want him. He still has an interview scheduled with the Vikings, and the Saints just interviewed him.
Yeah.
And according to what Mickey Loomis said, he was really impressed by Brian Flores and a couple other guys that we interviewed. So, how
could you not be?
Yeah. So there's still a chance. I mean, I don't know. It's a very interesting situation as far as him getting another job. I do think there's kind of a slim chance just because of the circumstances. But it is, a very odd situation. And another thing that they were saying is that Stephen Ross was trying to get Brian Flores to tamper with another team's quarterback. And what I'm hearing is that quarterback was Tom Brady.
Oh, I thought it was Deshaun Watson. Oh,
I heard it was Tom Brady.
He on the boat. Are you talking about that one? That story?
Yeah, that's what that's just rumors, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But when Stephen Ross invited Brian Flores to his yacht, he said that there just happened to be a prominent quarterback in the area that they were going to talk to or whatever. Basically, Stephen Ross was trying to get Brian Flores to tamper. It was Tom Brady. And he said that he respects Tom Brady, but that wasn't the right time for him to try and recruit him to the Dolphins, so on and so forth. But this is just an entirely fucked up situation, especially if a lot of it is true or a lot of it is happening the way that it is being perceived. Especially with the Giants stuff. I mean, come on, don't waste a guy's time. Even if you scheduled the interview with Flores, and then after you scheduled that interview, you were like, okay, Daboll's our guy. Like, that's who we're going to go with. Don't waste his time. Don't bring him in for an interview. Be like, hey, we decided on somebody. We're sorry. We wish you all the best, whatever. Don't bring him in just for an interview, just for fuck's sake. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Engage.
So,
Finish your thought. I'll bounce off of you.
I was just going to say, but yeah, it's a jacked up situation. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. But it's a long time coming, I think.
Yeah. This has been going on in the NFL for a while. I do want to say that the Rooney Rule, I kind of want to play devil's advocate here. I 100% think that Brian Flores is doing the right thing in this situation. The Rooney Rule in itself came from a good place. It definitely is the right thing to do, but it has its faults. I think we can all admit that. Yep. Like, Gage, like you just said, like, okay, if you like, this happens all the time with just jobs in general. Like, you interview a guy and you're like, shit, like, oh man, that like went really well. Like, I think he's our guy. And now most of the time those jobs would call up the candidates that are supposed to, interview after and be like, hey, we found our guy. So sorry. Thank you for, your time. Didn't want to waste your time. With the Rooney Rule, the Giants hadn't interviewed anybody, interviewed a minority yet.
Mm-hmm. I thought that they had already interviewed Leslie Frazier.
I don't think
there was somebody else, I thought.
I think you have to interview two now. You have to interview two.
Is it two?
Yeah.
Okay. So they hadn't interviewed a second minority. Mm-hmm. And that was why they were kind of on the hook to interview Brian Flores. So like, the Giants situation is bad, but like, they should have, to avoid, like, I don't understand. There's so many minorities that are qualified in the NFL. So like, yes, the Giants, like I'm trying to tell you, like, from their perspective, like, oh, we did, like, technically, yes, they didn't have a choice, but at the same time, like, out of all of these talented minorities in the NFL, you only interviewed one up to that point. Like, are you kidding me? That's it?
Yeah.
Like, that's the issue. That's the issue right there. And, anybody can say, like, the Broncos situation, I agree with you guys. That's going to be tough to prove. And number two, like, because people might be saying, like, how is that racist? Well, it might not be, but put yourself in Brian Flores' shoes. Like, he's interviewing for a head coaching job in the NFL. And the interviewers, John Elway and whoever this other executive was, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, just show up hungover as hell, visually hungover as hell. And everybody, I'm in college, I know like exactly what Brian Flores was talking about. I've seen people visually hungover. It's not a pretty sight and it's very obvious. So Brian Flores is sitting there like, are you not taking me seriously? Like you knew you had the interview the next day with Brian Flores, who's totally qualified to be a head coach in the NFL, absolutely should have gotten another job. Yeah. And you went out, hammered some drinks down, way too many drinks down. And you came in the next knowing that you had this interview with this guy. If you were seriously considering him, wouldn't you want to do everything in your power to come in professional the next day? Yeah. Just come in ready to go. I want to, because how interviews work. And I know a lot of our audience is younger. It's not just you, the interview, like the job interviewing you, it's you interviewing them. So they have to be just as professional as you are. So in his situation with the Broncos, they walk in hungover. He's like, okay, you don't even care that I'm here. You're not even legitimately considering
it's just disrespectful at the highest point.
Absolutely. I think like you think they did that shit with Nathaniel Hackett? Absolutely not. Nope. Absolutely not. So listen, whether the Dolphins situation was racism or just Stephen Ross being a shitty ass owner and just doing so and not understanding that like to be in the NFL, to do that with a Patriots guy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like to go up to a Patriots guy and be like, hey, we should lose some, like come on. That's stupid as hell.
I just got that update that the NFL is investigating into it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that Hugh Jackson came out and said that he was getting paid for losses?
I don't
know about that.
This could get deep, but
no, I can see that happening. I think the true problem is that there are 31 technically owners, because the Packers don't have an owner, 31 white owners in the NFL. So when you go to hire someone, you want to hire someone that is thinking like you, that looks like you, that talks like you. And they can't, what you want to see is you want to envision yourself as an owner in the coach's shoes, right? You want to hire someone that is your left-hand man that you think will make all the right decisions. And unfortunately, that's what it is. It's that there's 31 white owners in the NFL and they just won't hire minorities, and which is just ridiculous. I'm going to list off some names and you tell me if they deserve a job over Matt fucking Rule. Okay. Eric Bieniemy. Yep.
100%.
Yeah. We've been talking about that. I was going to bring that up too. I'm glad you said that. We've been talking about him for a year. Why does he not have a job right now? I
don't know.
Yeah. I think
I'm done with the not interviewing well narrative. I'm done with that because like like I know, I think Mike Florio said this, and Mike Florio was like, I know like he comes off as kind of an asshole on Twitter, but like he's very connected in the NFL. He came out and said, no, like Mike, like Eric Bieniemy was having some great interviews. Like maybe he bombed one, but like that, like, and have you seen his body of work? Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
has he even gotten many interviews this? I don't think so.
I haven't heard about him. I think
ridiculous.
I think he interviewed with one team. I can't remember who, but that's all I remember hearing about.
Yeah.
But like Brian Flores obviously deserves a job over Matt Rule. Byron Leftwich, who's been a stud on the Bucs. I think
Byron Leftwich is in line to get the Jaguars.
The Jaguars job, yes.
Are really close to coming to an agreement.
So we have a little hope to hold on. Yeah. Todd Bowles, he was just ridiculous on the Jets. He took that Jets team to a 10-6 record with Ryan Fitzpatrick,
and and a 35-year-old Brandon Marshall. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is the one that gets me mad. Why has Jim Caldwell just not been called at all? This guy took the fucking Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions to 2 playoff appearances. Two. They haven't had a winning season since. 2. But no, let's go hire Matt Patricia off the Bill Belichick coaching tree, because we all know that the Bill Belichick coaching tree is just so lucrative and just so outstanding. Obviously, Brian Flores being excluded, but
Jim Caldwell did interview with the Bears twice, but they obviously ended up hiring Eberflus.
Yep.
But that's all I've heard as far as him interviewing. That's
the one that gets me mad is Jim Caldwell, because first of all, he shouldn't have been fired by the Lions in the first place. That was fucking ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes and no. Jim Caldwell. How long was Jim Caldwell there? He was there for a while.
I think just 4 seasons. 4.
Was it only 4? I thought it was like 6,
it wasn't
7.
that long, I thought.
Yeah, really? Let me look it up.
If it was only 4, then absolutely shouldn't have been fired. I thought he was there for like 7 or 8 years, which I could be completely wrong because I don't
Jim Caldwell,
Detroit Lions a lot.
No, he was there. Well, he was with the Lions for 4 years, but he was with the Colts for 3 years.
Okay.
He was the coach from 2014 to 2017. Took them to a 12-4. Yeah, 12-4 record in 2014. A 9-7 record. I think it was another 9-7 record, and they missed the playoffs. It's just like, that one gets me upset. But
it's just it's ridiculous. And Jim Harbaugh is probably going to get the job in Minnesota. Yep. So
probably.
By the way, LOL Michigan fans, that's fucking hilarious. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's absolutely ridiculous that this is happening. And listen, people are out there. I'm not with this conversation. None of us are saying that the guys that got hired were not like Nathaniel Hackett is obviously was in line to be an NFL head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he was a great hire. Brian Daboll was a great hire.
Brian Daboll as well. Great. Yeah, it was in line to be an NFL head coach. It's just the fact that it is telling that like all of these like I used to deny this too, but now just like when it happened to Brian Flores, that's when I kind of snapped out of it. And I was like, holy shit, I thought he'd be gone in the first week. I thought as soon as he got fired by the Dolphins, holy shit, like a team's going to scoop him up. When that didn't happen, it's opening my eyes. Like whether these teams mean to do it or not, because it could be, like you said, Luke, like they try to envision it, it's just like subconsciously they try to envision themselves as a head coach. And that's the issue right there. So they need to be willing to, like, you see how good Mike Tomlin's doing. You see how fucking good Mike Tomlin is. And I think Brian Flores, it can be just as talented as a head coach, given the right situation and an owner that's not paying him to fucking lose. So it's absolutely ridiculous. The Rooney Rule it came from a good place. It might need to be like,
teams are just taking advantage of it at this point.
Exactly. That's all it is. That's all. They're just, kind of scraping it off. Like, oh
yeah, it's just another check off the box.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So it's a sticky situation. But I hope this at least opens some NFL owners' eyes to other guys, and maybe like kind of put yourself in uncomfortable positions to interview minorities. Cause like, I guarantee you're going to be impressed by some of them. I guarantee
I hope to God that they actually do find some evidence about this Stephen Ross offering $100,000 per loss thing, because it's a weird situation that the NFL is investigating it. But the NFL is also getting sued, and the NFL is basically just all of the owners. That is the NFL. It's not Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is just the face, right? He's the commissioner, but he's working for the owners, right? Yeah. So and the owners always come for each other's backs. Like they always got each other. So it's going to be interesting if they actually do find anything, or if it's just like, yeah, we'll investigate it and just brush it under the rug. Like they do everything with the Washington football team or Commanders now. Oh, that's a good transition. Huh. Look at
that. That's a great segue into our next topic. Yeah. So yeah, really quick. I know Gage hated this, but the Washington football team officially announced today that they have changed their team name to the Washington Commanders. I just want to clear this up really quick. I saw one comment under this that had a good amount of likes, like on Instagram, of a Washington fan saying, "What does Commanders even have to do with Washington, D.C.?" I don't know if you know this, but the guy in the White House is called the Commander in Chief. So it does actually... What? I know. Wild. So Commanders, I'm sorry to tell you, does actually have something to do with DC, but otherwise,
Joe Biden's dog is named Commander. So
there you go. Bam. So Gage, start with you. Why don't you go off on this name and uniforms?
So the name I don't think is like horrible. Okay. I can get behind the name a little bit, because like we were talking about earlier, Jake, I can kind of understand, like in a few years, it'll be like, okay, it's whatever. It's the same old thing. Because if any NFL team rolled out their current name, but in 2022, people would be like, what the fuck is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But in a few years, people will come around to it. Commanders will just be a normal thing. Now, as far as the rebranding with like logos and stuff like that, the W, I don't have a huge issue with it. I feel like you could have gotten more creative. But I kind of understand that. Like it looks fine. It's clean for the most part. The uniforms. Here we go. The unis. The black ones are fucking atrocious. I hate them. They are horrible looking. I can't get behind them. The W on the front of the helmet, or the helmet. I don't know what just happened. I had an aneurysm or something. But the W on the front of the helmet looks horrible. I don't know what's going on there. I saw a tweet earlier actually that said that they look like McDonald's jerseys, and yeah, I feel like that's fitting. They do. They look like McDonald's jerseys.
Facts.
The white ones aren't as bad as the black ones, but they still look bad in my opinion. If you think of all of the like white uniforms in the NFL, those are bottom tier for sure.
I don't know. I kind of mess with them. I
don't at all. I'm not a fan of the gradient and stuff. I don't even really like the gradient on like the Rams uniforms. But I don't like the gradient that's like it's three different ones. I don't know. I don't like the white ones. And then the red ones, I don't have a problem with. I think the red ones are pretty clean. For the most part, they look similar to their current uniforms and stuff. I don't have an issue with those. As a whole, not a great rebranding. Not a fan.
I'm just more so mad that it took fucking 2 years for this. 2 years for the commies of Washington, D.C. That's what we're naming. That's what we're doing. I made a video earlier saying just Dan Snyder in general just has the worst fucking legacy out of any human on earth.
Does
red and yellow.
Let's go from the racist name to the Washington football team to the communist team. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Steve Ballmer will probably have a bone to pick with Dan Snyder from the Clippers.
True.
Two terrible human beings. So
yeah, awful.
All right, let's not get into all that. But I also don't like the W logo for a team that doesn't get many W's year in and year out. I just feel like it's weird. Personally, like I like it more than the Washington football team logo because the Washington football team was just like the red color, right? This one at least has the, the cool lines, making it like abstract and whatnot because you put so much effort into that.
Letter logos in general, I think.
Yeah, no,
they suck.
Letter logo.
Yeah, for sure.
I love
lazy.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to correct myself. The former Clippers owner was Donald Sterling. That was
Sterling. That's
currently Steve Ballmer's actually a great guy. Steve
Ballmer.
Ballmer's a great guy. He's a lot of fun to watch on the court.
But I'm upset because you literally just could have gone on Instagram or NFL Twitter or anything, just like the day that they announced that they were rebranding, just go on NFL Twitter and see all of the awesome logos, all of the awesome names. And I get it's more than like, it's a whole like copyright shit. Like you have to actually, it takes a while. Right. And that's why it took 2 years, but like 2 years for the Commanders. Like I want the Red Wolves, that Red Wolves logo with the W, with the wolf and the White House in the back. Dude, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. That's a sick letter logo. But I think it's mid. I think we should call them the committers.
I don't think
that. Committer. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, which better, the commies? Just
commies is hilarious.
Fraud.
But I hope people understand why it's hilarious and don't actually call them commies legitimately. It's ironically hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I think it's actually going to catch on.
Because it's in DC.
Yeah,
because they're in DC. I think the white uniforms are awesome though. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
I think the uniforms period are awesome. I really like the black ones. I'm sorry, I might be in the minority.
Big fan.
I'm a big fan of the black uniforms. I think they're clean. I think they're tough. I like them. The W on the helmet is stupid though. I'll give you that. The W on the front of the helmet is super stupid. If you just move it to the side, way better.
Even if like just how they have like the little decal right at the top of the visor, if they had it like right there, that would be fine. But the big W on the front of the actual helmet is stupid.
I wonder if they'll change that. That was just like a rough sketch.
It should change a lot.
Yeah. All right.
It changed a lot.
But yeah, this gives me like we were talking about earlier, off screen, that this gives me vibes that this is going to be a team name that everybody hates at first. Then they come around to it and then it's fine. I do like the W. I really hoped that they kept that W from the Washington football team rebrand because I actually thought that was a clean logo, as stupid as it is to just have a letter. And they kind of just, touched it up a little bit with the lines. I don't know what just happened.
My whole water bottle's fucking full of ice. Awesome. That's great.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Nice.
So yeah, I do like the logo, and they have a really what logo was it? I just had it up. Anyway, whatever. There's like a circle logo.
The circle one. I think that's their main. Is that their main or is that their secondary?
Corners? I don't know. That's tough.
I think it's the secondary. I think the W is the main. The emblem or whatever is the secondary. They have it on the back of their jerseys, like above the numbers, which is different, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Gives me Steelers vibes. Steelers vibes for sure.
But listen, I think it's a good, like, it's not the worst rebrand we've ever seen. It's also not the best rebrand we've ever seen. So it's whatever. In 5 years, like I said, nobody's going to care. Everybody's going to come around to it. Do you guys remember the uproar over the Washington football team? Now there were fans actually arguing to keep it. So
Washington football team is a better name. Just objectively better name. WFT.
I disagree. I think I like Commanders better than not having a name.
Yeah.
I like
I hated that
shit specifically.
Because it's WFT. Like, what the fuck? And it's like you.
No. I just like WFT. Okay. Like, I've gotten used to hashtag WFT whenever I talk about the team. Like, it's
and that's
fun.
Yeah. Okay. But like, I hated that they didn't have a name. I hated that shtick of the football team, whatever. But listen, in 5 years, like I said, nobody's gonna care. They're all gonna get behind it. Like they got behind the Washington football team rebrand, and it'll be fine. Everybody will calm down. Same thing happened with what team was I thinking of? the Cleveland Guardians. When the Cleveland Guardians was announced, everyone, it was a huge uproar. And now
like, this is dumb. I hate the
I
logo.
went, yeah,
I went on the
Cleveland, I went on the Cleveland Guardians Instagram account before this episode just to make sure I could say this. Now they're all like fully behind it. Like all the comment, there's not like a single negative comment about the Guardians.
Just takes a while.
Yeah, exactly. You'll warm up to it. Like you have to. It's your team. Like you'll be fine. It's not that bad, people. Like calm down.
They went with the safe option, not the fun option. But it is the no fun league. So
that's a good way to put it. They went with the safe option. Red Wolves. I think they wanted to do Red Wolves, but it got like there was like copyright.
But like I feel like they just didn't want to put forth the effort though.
Oh, 100%.
Like 100%. I mean, it's the NFL. That if they really wanted it, like they
could have gotten it.
Yeah, Red Wolves, so fucking.
That would have been cool.
It'd be so cool. So cool.
Really cool. But anyway, we digress. So Tom Brady has retired twice this week. Shockingly, but yeah. So reports came out earlier in the week that it had been leaked that people close to Tom Brady believed he was going to retire, to which everybody took that as gospel, that he was going to retire. I believe Adam Schefter reported it.
Adam Schefter and
shit all week.
Was it Tom Pelissero or someone? Jeff Darlington, yeah.
Yeah, so they reported that Tom Brady was retiring. He got all, I'm sure anybody who has Instagram, follow sports, that you all saw the just complete mosh pit of Tom Brady, posts that were on there. And then the next day, Tom Brady's dad comes out and says his son hasn't made a final decision. Then Tom Brady tweets out, I'm gonna let myself make this final decision or whatever, something along those lines. And then the next day, he officially announces that he retires. So Tom Brady is officially retired. We could say that. I never thought I would say that in my lifetime. I thought he'd play until he was 50. But it's finally over, guys. It's finally over. We don't have to worry about it. What?
You never thought you would say that in your lifetime. You thought he would play until he's 50. So you were expecting to die within the next 6 years?
No.
Okay.
But thank you for catching that.
Hey.
Yeah, no problem.
I expect to live a full, happy life.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that's always good.
Anyway, I was exaggerating. But Tom Brady is retired. Gage, what do you have to say about the greatest of all time?
Good riddance. No, he had a great career. He is the greatest of all time, of course. And, I'll give him his flowers. You know what I mean? I feel like the move that he made from the Patriots would have made me like him a lot more if he had gone anywhere but the Bucs. If he had gone outside of our division somewhere, I would have been totally fine. I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But he's obviously seen more success than anybody in the NFL. He is probably the greatest winner of all time. A lot of people are saying he's kind of the GOAT athlete, and I don't know about that one quite as much. But Tom Brady, wishing him all the best in retirement. He deserves it. He's really done it the right way for the most part. There's been some scandalous things here and there that for the most part haven't been proven.
How could you deflate balls? Come on.
Yeah, what the hell?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Yeah. But no, never mind. We'll get to that later. But as far as the Adam Schefter thing, let's be real about the situation for a second. Adam Schefter was right.
Yeah,
he was correct. Now, I can understand some people's issue with it because they're like, well, he took the retirement announcement away from Brady. Like Brady wanted to announce it himself. He wanted to do it his own way. And Adam Schefter reporting it before he was ready kind of took that away from him. And I get that to an extent. But you also have to understand this is Adam Schefter's job.
Yep.
He has done this forever. And if he did it with literally anyone else, which I'm sure he has before, nobody would bat an eye. It's just because it was Tom Brady. So I don't know. Rough situation. I understand both sides, but Adam Schefter, I think, isn't totally at fault here.
Yeah. It's 100% his job. I'm a journalism major. Adam Schefter, journalist, reporter, what have you. Like that is his job. It doesn't matter the timing of it. His job is to, when he confirms it, to report it. The unfortunate side of like the journalism world is in situations like this, when you have to report Tom Brady retired. You hear Tom Brady retired. What, are you not going to tell anybody? Like that's what he's getting paid for. That's what he's getting paid for. That's how he makes a living.
With us being in sports media, if I heard that somewhere and it was like confirmed, I'm fucking tweeting it. I'm reporting it. I'm making a TikTok, whatever.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I will say, like, in situations like that, it sucks. because, you'd obviously like Tom Brady to get his flowers. But it's not like Tom Brady didn't leak it to other people that he was retiring. How did Adam Schefter find out? So if Tom Brady really wanted to, have this big moment, he shouldn't have told anybody. But that's nor here nor there. Tom Brady's gone. And as much as I fucking hated, I will say hated, hate's a strong word, disliked Tom Brady over the years, just for the pain that he caused me and he caused the rest of the NFL. Now that he's finally hung up his cleats, you could sort of look back and be like, holy shit, I just witnessed the greatest American sports career of all time. Like the greatest. Michael Jordan, nope. Muhammad Ali, nope. I mean, like Michael Phelps or like Simone Biles or like yeah, you can make that argument. Sure.
Maybe not Simone Biles yet.
Michael Phelps,
Phelps.
Yeah, you could make the argument for a lot of people. But just in this league with the 32 teams and how hard it is just to win on a week-to-week basis, not let alone fucking 7 Super Bowls and to go to 10 of them. And you've been in the league 22 years, I believe, 22. Yeah. 22 seasons, and you were in 10 Super Bowls. That's almost half. Or is it 21 seasons? I feel like it's 21.
22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. The entire the 2000s, the 2010s, and the early part of the 2020s were just dominated by one man, and his name is Tom Brady. He's the greatest to ever do it. He's not just on the Mount Rushmore of the NFL. He's on the Mount Rushmore of all of sports. And you know what? You're seeing a lot of these younger quarterbacks like thanking him, saying, "Hey, you paved the way. You inspired me to do what I'm doing now, and I hope to like carry on your legacy." And that's what you do. That's what you play the game for, is to have this legacy to inspire other athletes to do as well as you did. And you know what? We might be seeing the next Tom Brady. We'll get to that in the next segment. But I mean, what can you say? The GOAT's gone. It's tough. And now Aaron Rodgers is the last one. The last one. Maybe. Who knows?
For now, Luke's always got to make it about Aaron Rodgers in some way. Even when it's Tom Brady's day, it's got to come back to Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, to be serious here, listen, we all love to root against Tom Brady in the same way that we all love to root against Steph Curry in those Golden State Warriors dominant years. Right now, I'm kind of rooting for Steph Curry because now the Warriors have but like back in those days when they had KD and everything, it was like, fuck that team. Yeah. But it's the ultimate amount of respect to be rooting against somebody because you're it. Like I saw Chiefs fans tweeting, like a bunch of Chiefs fans like commented on my TikTok that I posted after the AFC Championship game. Why does everybody hate us? It's because you're at the top right now. Like you're the team to beat. You are the Patriot, what the Patriots were. That's what you should be taking it as a compliment. I understand you guys hadn't been good in a long, long time, so you're not used to this. But it's the ultimate pay of respect to you guys because, you love to hate him. Say what you want about Tom Brady. Unless you're a Patriots fan, in every Super Bowl that he was playing in, or a Bucs fan, every Super Bowl that he was playing in, you were watching to hopefully have somebody beat Tom Brady. That's what you wanted. That's what everybody wanted. And only 2 guys did it, and their names are Eli Manning and Nick Foles. How? I have no idea. But
that is crazy.
It's wild.
Out of all the greats.
So listen, it just to kind of wrap this up, but it was an honor. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like when he went to Tampa, I didn't hate him as much. I just hated Bill and Tom and the Patriots. In Tampa, I made a promise to myself that I was going to appreciate what I was seeing. And I tried to take it in because I was like every day. Yeah, every day I tried to be like, holy shit, this guy is 44 years old, throwing 45 touchdowns. Who the fuck is going to do that again? Nobody. We all saw how we've seen, I'm old enough to have seen how we saw Peyton Manning fall off a fucking cliff. Peyton Manning was literally one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, probably the worst quarterback in the NFL that year. I'm not even shitting. Brock Osweiler was better than him.
They benched Peyton.
Yeah. And he played better in the Super Bowl after he had, he got his foot repaired and everything, but he still wasn't good. We've seen these guys just fall off a cliff. We've seen
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, he had a noodle arm. I'm sorry, Gage, but he did.
He was playing okay.
Eli Manning. I mean, Eli Manning was never tremendous, but he was good. He was good, but he really kind of fell off. Yeah.
Big Ben and Phillip Rivers. You saw it with everybody. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Big Ben this year, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But to be 6th round pick. He had to fight for his job at Michigan. He was not a highly recruited guy. There was like 8 quarterbacks on the roster at Michigan when he got there. He was never just the starter at Michigan, never the name start. He always had to fight with Drew Henson, who went on to play baseball and had a cup of coffee in the NFL. And then to be a 6th round pick, knowing everything that you had just been through, to look Robert Kraft in the eye and say, I am the best decision this organization has ever made. That is like borderline psychotic. Like, are you like, imagine just like, think of
Evan
a college
McPherson type balls right there.
Yeah, honestly. And like, imagine just like this guy that's going to be your 4th string quarterback coming up to you and be like, I'm the best. Like, okay. Like, so we just signed
there was never supposed to be a Tom Brady.
Exactly. Never. Thank you, Mo Lewis, for that hit on Drew Bledsoe. Sorry, Drew Bledsoe, though. But it's just, I want to get deep for a second. It's just a testament to, it's the American dream in a way. It is like, if you work hard enough for something, you can achieve it. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. Big shout out to Tom Brady. I don't want to cut it short, but I just want to say real quick, because I did just get a notification. Jim Harbaugh has told Michigan that he will be returning to the school despite interviewing with the Vikings.
Wow.
Oh, boo, the Vikings. Fuck. Damn it. Damn. I thought they were winning the North.
But the Vikings still have that interview with Brian Flores. It's just
I honestly think he's still in line to get ahead. Like, I don't think this will.
I told you, I didn't think he was leaving.
I don't think this will blackball him. Yeah. I don't think this will blackball him from the NFL like it did Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick, listen, he's not a starting quarterback. Like, everybody knew. Like, I'm not going to go through this pain for a backup quarterback. Like, that's just ridiculous.
I really think either the Vikings or the Saints will select him as their head coach. Genuinely. Brian Flores. I think that there's still somewhat of a chance that he gets a job. I don't know much about the Vikings ownership, but I know that Gail Benson, the Saints owner, like, she 100% would do something like that. And we fucking hate the NFL as a whole anyway. So
yeah,
I hope.
But yeah, good for Tom Brady. Amazing career. Probably nothing we'll ever see again. 7 Super Bowls. Literally had a better career than every single NFL franchise, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on.
Hall of Fame careers in one.
3 Hall of Fame careers.
Shout out to the guy that got drafted as a catcher to the Montreal Expos on retiring.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be saying about the guy that got drafted to the Texas Rangers in 10 years, Mr. Russell Wilson. Anyway, let us move on to the one, again, just a continuation of the best playoffs I've ever seen in football. Okay, I've only been watching football for like 10 years now, but like the best playoffs I've ever seen by far. So you got 2 great games this weekend. Let's start with the man himself, the king in the North himself, Mr. Joey B, Joe Burrow, Joe Burr, Joe Shiesty. I had to buy a shirt. I had to copy a shirt.
I didn't know it came in yet.
Yeah, I also copped a Josh Allen one because I'm just those 2 guys are fucking phenomenal to watch. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know what to say. Luke, I'll start with you. What do you have to say about the AFC Championship game this weekend?
Who day is what I have to say.
Who day? Who fucking day?
Who day? Who dat? Yeah, I don't know about all that. It's all about the who day and today, baby. How do you feel about that, Gage? How do you feel about that, Gage? That they stole the catchphrase and now they're in the Super Bowl.
I
mean, he's from Louisiana, LSU, the LSU guys there, but
yeah, I've talked about it before. It was an easy transition from Saints to Bengals.
Yeah. But I'm happy for the Bengals. This is like, you talk about Tom Brady shouldn't have never happened. Like, the Bengals shouldn't be here right now. Like, nobody had them. It's like the perfect underdog story. It really is. And it's, the year of the Tiger, the Chinese New Year. So let's see if they could pull one out in the good old bowl game here in a couple of weeks. But no, Joe Burrow has risen faster than we could have imagined. He's solidified himself as probably like definitely top 10, maybe like top 7. He's pushing. If he wins the Super Bowl MVP, I think we got to have that discussion about maybe like top 5, maybe top 3. But he's been phenomenal these entire playoffs. He's been phenomenal just the entire like last month or so of the season. And the hottest teams at the end of the season are generally going to do the best in the playoffs. And that's exactly what happened. Joe Burrow ended the season. I mean, didn't play the last game, but ended the season just like a champ, like 2 straight 500-yard games, like 1,000 yards in two weeks, just like crazy numbers. And he did it to the Chiefs again. He did it to the Chiefs coming back 21-3. Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, I know we don't want to like put someone's name and compare him to the GOAT, but like Joe Burrow, all he does is win. That's literally all he does is win, no matter what. So put your hands in the air, as T-Pain says. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. I'm trying to look at like my stats aren't loading, so I'm trying to fix that. Patrick Mahomes played the worst second half I might have ever seen out of him. To go from 21-3 down to only scoring 3 points. And I think his passer or his quarterback rating was like 98 in the first half. And then the second half, it was like 2.
No, it's 149.
1.49.
Yeah.
Even worse than I thought.
One of the best first halves he's ever played, by the way.
Yeah, he only missed three
flawless in the first half.
Yeah. It was incredible. Shout out Jamar Chase, shout out T. Higgins. I'm making a video on how the Bengals got here, just like through the draft and stuff. And they deserve this. They deserve this after the just 30 years plus of just heartbreak, and then getting your hopes up in the 2010s with Andy Dalton. And they had some really good squads just for it to come apart with like Vontez Burfict and people like that, Pac-Man Jones. They deserve this. They have the guy of the future. Joe Burrow is looking like he's going to become one of the faces of the league if he isn't already. I'm very excited for the Super Bowl. It's something new. It's something fresh. I'm sure the NFL hates it though. Cincinnati market getting the Super Bowl. NFL fucking hates that, for a fact. But Joe Burrow's that guy. I'm glad I'm getting to watch him play right now. And that kids are looking up to this guy too. Like, we got Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and all those guys. They're getting some crazy ass quarterbacks.
Shit.
It's ridiculous.
We just had guys that were accurate. Now they get guys that can fucking run 4 forward, but can throw an 80-yard dime too.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like Peyton Manning, we were just in shock that he could read a defense. We're like, holy shit, this guy can read a defense like no other.
Next generation is going to be like floating, like hovering above the ground. Just like doing some telekinesis shit. Yeah.
It's really crazy too when you think about it that way, because there are so many like kids and stuff that pick their favorite teams based off of a lot of the popular quarterbacks and stuff of old. And then I became a Saints fan through Madden, but I really loved Drew Brees too. And that kind of solidified it. Now you're seeing these teams with like somewhat decent fan bases, or like they have pretty solid, but they aren't known as like the biggest fan bases in the league or anything. And you see guys like Josh Allen drawing in people. You see guys like Joe Burrow drawing in people, Lamar Jackson drawing people to the Ravens, and just like so on and so forth. And it's crazy. It's really a new era. But it's time I get to it. I'm sorry, Bengals fans. I'm sorry to you guys for picking against you.
Mm-hmm.
I chose the less fun option, and the more fun option won.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, how could I have predicted that Patrick Mahomes would have a 1.4 QBR in the second half? I don't know.
We did it. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Me and Luke both knew that he was going to have a 1.4 quarterback rating.
For sure.
Actually,
if I recall, neither of you gave any analysis. You were just like, we like the Bengals, but okay.
Can't give away all of our secrets, Gage. Jeez.
Yeah, what the F?
But the Bengals, shout out to the Bengals defense, really. I mean, even beyond, like we talk about Joe Burrow a lot, obviously. We talk about Jamar Chase a lot, but the Bengals defense has stepped up huge for them throughout this playoff run, especially in this last game. They stepped up huge in the second half, and that's a big part of the reason why Patrick Mahomes didn't play well at all in the second half, because Trey Hendrickson was getting to him, Sam Hubbard was getting to him, and the secondary was playing really well also. Like, these guys were fantastic throughout the entirety of the second half, and they made it work even in the overtime. Von Bell gets that interception. My guy, fuck Eli.
Crazy interception
out there again. Yeah, bounced off the hands and snagged it. And then Evan McPherson puts it away. I mean,
big balls.
Big balls. Evan McPherson puts it away for the second
trademark.
week.
Totally unqualified trademark. Big balls. Evan McPherson.
That is his nickname. If you're listening to this right now, his nickname is Big Balls Evan McPherson, according to us. And please go ahead and start spreading that.
Yeah, please reference APA format when you use that name ever.
Yes.
And if we ever make merch, we will be in fact making a shirt with that name on it.
Reference back to this episode too. This episode specifically.
Yeah,
this
reference,
time frame.
Yes. Maybe we'll accept Chicago style, maybe MLA, but I would like to keep an APA format. For
APA is formal, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But I do apologize for being incorrect and picking against my gut, picking against the team that I wanted to see win. I've never been so happy.
What a cop out! I will say a cop out. I'm kidding.
I know. Facts. Facts.
I can confirm he wanted them to win.
I wanted the Bengals to win.
Yeah,
I thought the Chiefs would win. Yeah, and I was cocky about it too. I said that only all three of us will be sad, but only one of us will be right. Mm-hmm. All three of us are now happy, and only one of us is fucking wrong. So I'm taking
that works out.
I'm taking my medicine. But I can still be happy about it, and I'm super excited to watch them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just an unreal story. I think the thing that just kind of summarize what this team is about the most, I'm talking about the Bengals here, is Trey Hendrickson. You all know the play I'm talking about. I don't know if it's Joe Burrow. I don't know if it's Zach Taylor, but Trey Hendrickson told you all you need to know about the culture in that building right now in Cincinnati. They believe they are going to give every ounce of effort because they want it. They are hungry and they believe they can get to a championship and they can win a championship. Trey Hendrickson literally gassed himself to the point he had to go online, look at the video of Trey Hendrickson trying to catch his breath. That's how I looked running a 400-meter hurdle race in high school. That's how I looked after. That's how Trey Hendrickson looked.
Stairs to my room.
Oh my God.
Just sweat.
Completely gassed. This team is all about not give up. They are not going to give up. They are going to push you 60 minutes. How long is that? Yeah, 60 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm getting confused with college, whatever. 60 minutes, every second of it until that last whistle blows. They're going to give everything they have because Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, they've instilled that culture in this team that they are winners and they can compete with any fucking team in the NFL. I don't give a shit what their regular season record was. I don't care that they were only 10-7. The team's in the Super Bowl for a reason. Because they fucking want it and they're hungry and they believe. They all collectively believe. And this is what happened when you get a team on the same page that all believe in each other that they can get there. Because this team, they do have the talent to be in the Super Bowl, but we said, they shouldn't be here. They should not be here. It's just a testament to Cincinnati. Mike Brown gets a lot of shit, but he's built this team. He spent a shit ton of money on free agents last year. So you got to believe that he's kind of on the coaster with them now. He's kind of, whatever you need. I don't know if Joe Burrow had a conversation with him as a fucking rookie and is like, listen, we're going to fucking win here. And I don't know if the old man's sack just got a little tight in there and was like, oh, fuck. All right. I better get spend some money out here. But to put that image in your head, but it's just such a great story. I love to see it. Obviously, I got the King in the North shirt going right here. I'm such a Joe Burrow fan. I think the entire world is a Joe Burrow fan.
Oh, for sure.
Unless you're a fan of I've even seen it Steelers fans be all for Joe Burrow. This is just he's such a polarizing personality and it's great.
No, for real, to watch this kid grow up on Home Alone and Home Alone 2 just to become a starting quarterback for the LSU Tigers and then make it to a Super Bowl. It's incredible. I want to stir up the pot a little bit and just be a little asshole. So I think it was last week I made the comparison, these new age quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, I think in my opinion is the next Tom Brady or next iteration of Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, the next iteration of Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen, the next iteration of Big Ben. Are we seeing a little bit of maybe a career arc that Patrick Mahomes has taken with maybe getting to the championship matches and coming up short? And I know he's been to 2.
I didn't want to say it.
I know he's been to 2. I know he's been to 2, but 21-3 and just making that decision. This needs to be talked about. Making that decision to go for it on what was it, 3rd and goal or 2nd and goal with 5 seconds left in the first half. For Patrick Mahomes to just hold on to the ball that long and throw it to Tyreek Hill to try and make a play, that can't happen. That's what lost them the game right there. And I think the Bengals said after the game, they carried that momentum into the locker room and came out of the locker room and still had it. That was a bad play. And that play, I think, definitely lost the game for them. Maybe not lost the game, but that gave the Bengals all the motivation that they needed. to go out and win that game. I don't know. Maybe we're starting to see a little career arc. You get the first championship, your first couple years in the league, you're feeling good. You're feeling on top of the world. Just the crazy arm angle throws.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. I recall a quarterback in Seattle went through a very similar career arc as well. Getting to a couple of championship games, winning one, and then never being able to get back. But no, I don't think I think Patrick Mahomes is too talented. That team is too good.
I think that it's really fun to compare these current guys to the guys that we're seeing retire and stuff like that. I think it's fun to be like, oh, Joe Burrow's next Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes and all that stuff. But genuinely, I think that these guys are coming into their own. Like they are going to be a new era that is going to be doing a lot different things. And I think that there's going to be a lot more parity in the NFL. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes, I think, is still the most talented quarterback in the league right now.
Yep.
But I don't think that he's just going to be able to win it every year. I think that there's going to be other guys that are going to challenge that because there are other guys that are up there. There are guys that have the teams around them or they have the talent to compete with that. Dude. So I think that the league is going in a good direction, and I like the way it's headed.
It's the Tom Brady effect because the guy has 7 rings. You're expected to go on, get multiple rings, multiple championships year after year.
Even him, we didn't see him win one for 10 years, though.
True.
For a span there.
True.
Yeah, everybody forgets about that big gap in the middle where he did go to one. He went to 2.
Yeah.
And then Eli beat him in both. But yeah, this is like, of course I used to be excited to watch football highlights, but like I'm excited to watch every fucking game nowadays. Like I want to watch what Josh Allen is doing. I want to see what Patrick Mahomes is doing. I want to see what Justin Herbert's doing. I want to see what Joe Burrow's doing. Like I want to see what all these guys are doing. I don't know. Like, I think this is safe to say, like, this generation of quarterbacks is turning us all from just our team fans into just football fans. Like, holy shit.
100%. That and fantasy, both.
Yeah, that and
both.
fantasy football. Sure. Exactly. Because, like, there's not a team that, like, I won't turn on right now. Maybe the Jets. I probably won't turn on the Jets. But like,
Washington.
Jaguars.
The Commanders.
Yeah. Okay. There's
the Commanders.
Yeah. Well, Taylor Heinegoat. I mean, Taylor Heinegoat.
He's not going to be there for too much longer.
I just don't want to see those black jerseys.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna grow on you. They're gonna grow on you.
I promise.
But yeah, this is a terrific time to be a football fan, and I'm so excited for just this next era of football. Like, it's sad, of course, to see it come to an end, but because we all knew this was gonna happen one day. But just to see the athletic freaks that we have in the NFL nowadays, like, this is going to be, especially in the AFC with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, all in the AFC. Like, those battles, holy shit. NFC's got to catch up a little bit. NFC's got to catch up. And
100%.
I mean, they got Kyler, but like not much after that.
Yeah, that's like the only
one.
I
didn't even mention Lamar Jackson in the AFC too. Like, it's just fucking so much.
Yeah, I do want to say, like, I meant to say this earlier when we were on Tom Brady's segment, but like, I don't feel like we're actually going to feel like the repercussions of him not being in the league until next season starts. And we're like, oh shit, Tom Brady's not here. What's Undisputed going to talk about for half their episode? I mean, hey, they still have LeBron James and maybe Aaron Rodgers, but like, I don't think it's going to truly hit us until we actually watch football. We're like, wow, I'm not watching Tom Brady dominate every single week. Yeah. I'm not watching him in the playoffs anymore. Like, I don't know how to feel.
I think the playoffs is especially when it's going to hit us, because then because everybody, no matter how good Tom Brady's team was, like, they could have gone 8-8, snuck into the playoffs, and you would have been like, "Fuck, we got to play Tom Brady." Like, it's just like this is what this. It didn't matter how good his team was; it just scared the shit out of you, and that I feel like the playoffs is when that's actually going to hit us.
Oh, definitely.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, but moving on, there was another championship game played this weekend, shockingly. The NFC championship game between the 49ers and Rams, division rivals. Great, another terrific game. Another comeback. I believe the 49ers were up like 17-7 at one point. I think it was 17-7 at one point. Jimmy Garoppolo, was playing actually pretty well. And then it all collapsed. And Matty Stafford, the man himself, brought the Rams back, and they are going to their second Super Bowl under Sean McVay. Luke, we'll start out with you. What do you think of this, the NFC Championship game and the Rams moving on?
I was drunk watching this for a good reason because I hated this so much. I got to be honest. Like there was no fun. There was no excitement in me during this match. I literally was drinking beer and I was just laying there and I barely had my eyes open. I was like, yeah, I got to watch this game. But no, congrats to the Rams. The Rams are legit. I've been saying for a while now, if they didn't make the Super Bowl, I think you have to put Les Snead on the hot seat. I think you have to put Sean McVay on the hot seat because they did everything in their power to make this the team that is now in the Super Bowl, going out and getting Von Miller, going out and getting OBJ, going out and getting Matthew Stafford. Like they've done everything that they could to build a Super Bowl roster, and they finally are back in the Super Bowl. And what's crazier about it is that they're hosting the Super Bowl. I mean, I guess it's neutral field, but that's a whole nother thing. The fact that we went so many decades without seeing a team host the Super Bowl in their home stadium, and now all of a sudden back-to-back years. That's crazy. But yeah, it's funny because if you want to know how I feel about Jimmy Garoppolo and how some of my friends feel about Jimmy Garoppolo, I was watching it with some buddies and I was like, it came down to the last drive where Jimmy G got the ball back. I was like, all right, guys, let's see it. How many plays until Jimmy Garoppolo throws a game-sealing pick? And I said two. My other friend said 4, and my other friend said, I believe it was like 6, and he threw it in 3 plays. So that's kind of just telling of what I feel like. That's not even just us. That's just like the general public, how we feel about Jimmy Garoppolo.
I said the same thing. The same thing.
How many plays till Jimmy G fucks this up? Yeah. Exactly. Because Jimmy G can't be put in those situations where you need to go out and win a game. And that's what the Rams game plan was the entire time. And honestly, moving forward, that's going to be what every single team going up against Jimmy Garoppolo's game plan is going to be, is to make him go out there and win the game. Not saying that he can't go out and win games. He literally just did it against the Rams just a few weeks ago. But when the pressure is at the tipping point and you need to get it, it's do or die, or do or go home, or this is going to be your last game as a 49er. The pressure's too high and he can't get it done. It was a weird game. I don't think they got Deebo Samuel as involved in the run game as they would have liked. I feel like the Rams did a good job of sort of limiting them. Yes, Deebo only had 7 for 26. I don't know. I never felt like the 49ers had just that championship team. Like they have a really solid team. They have a really dynamic physical team defensively and offensively, but something about it probably was just Jimmy Garoppolo, but something about this team just didn't like feel right. Like this team wasn't a championship team. Made a great run. And that's what great head coaches do, is they make sure their teams are in the best position to win. And that's what Kyle Shanahan did this season, but credit to the Rams. They should be in the Super Bowl. They were the best team in the NFC, the best roster, hands down, the NFL, I think. And now I get to like, I don't want the Rams to win. I'm obviously going to be on the Bengals bandwagon, but it's good. It's really nice to see Matthew Stafford finally get his flowers for all of the work that he did in Detroit and just never having the success that he warranted. So yeah, good for the Rams. I'm glad. Hopefully we won't see Matthew Stafford choke like Aaron Donald seems to do every single week, but yeah, let's I digress.
I'm super excited about this Super Bowl matchup as a whole. And we've talked about it a few times. I don't even know who to root for here. Like I wouldn't be mad no matter who wins. But as far as this game specifically, I've said it multiple times over the course of I don't know how long now. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to go out and lose you a game far more often than he's going to go out and win you a game. He can manage for a lot of the season, as we've seen multiple times. That's how they got here to begin with. But he's not going to like make that big play that's going to go down and win you the game when the pressure's on and it's like a 1-score game and you need to tie it off. So they've already been talking about finding a trade partner for him. They've already talked about moving him, and I definitely think he will be before the season starts back up next year. As far as where he'll go, that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to make it happen. And he played fairly well in this game. I don't want to just shit on him and be like Jimmy Garoppolo is the reason that they lost this, because even that last pick, I mean, you got to get rid of the ball. It's very unfortunate where the ball ended up, but I don't think that was completely on him. Again, I mean, just like the Bengals defense, the Rams defense was just playing lights out in the second half. They were doing what they needed to do. They were rushing the passer very well, and they have one of the best front sevens in the league. So they did what they were good at. As far as the Rams, I love Matt Stafford. I love Cooper Kupp. Seeing Odell finally do Odell things once again just feels so good. It's like
a monster game.
Fresh air.
Monster.
He did. He and Cooper Kupp both had over 100 yards, right?
I believe OBJ is the highest graded receiver in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's been phenomenal.
He left Cleveland, and you see what happened.
Yep.
But even beyond that, like Matt Stafford, I've said it forever. Get him off the Lions, and he's got good arm talent. He's a smart quarterback, and he's going to be able to take a team places as long as he's got a good roster. The Lions, as we know, are just a poverty franchise, so they were never going to do anything with him. So I'm glad to see him in a position where he can actually compete now. It's just crazy. It's crazy where the league is at right now.
Yeah, I could not be happier for Matt Stafford. Every fabric of my body as a Seahawks fan is telling me not to root for the Rams, but I just, man, Matt Stafford is challenging that just because, like you said, like he
deserves it.
He deserves it so much. He deserves it so much. Like just to go through Detroit, to bring Detroit to playoff games is like a Super Bowl in itself. Like that's impressive as hell. There's only been a couple guys in the history of that franchise to do it, and it's like Barry Sanders and Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson. That's it. But man, what a game. Good. Like this game, I know I hate the Niners and I say that a lot, but Kyle Shanahan is just a special coach, man. He was winning these games with Deebo Samuel by himself and the defense, obviously, but that offense, by the way, credit to Deebo Samuel, just an unbelievable year.
Season was ridiculous.
Oh my God. You saw him crying after the game. Odell went up to him to console him. Good for Odell for doing that. I am not wrong in saying he carried that entire offense. George Kittle, like I believe got banged up a little bit. So George Kittle was just coming back from injury. So George Kittle wasn't exactly the same, but it was like, for the most part, Deebo Samuel carrying this entire offense
for sure.
In the playoffs. So good for him, man. He is a fucking weapon. Like he really is one of the top weapons in all of football. And listen, the Rams, it was never a doubt in my mind, really. It really wasn't, because they just, with Matt Stafford, and I'm so glad that he has this gene, because the one thing like about quarterbacks, that if they've never been, they can be as good as you want in the regular season. They've never been in the playoffs. If they've never won in the playoffs, you do have that like little thing in the back of your mind, like, can they win in the playoffs? And Matt Stafford has proven that he could definitely do that. And he's clutch too. He really is clutch. And Cooper Kupp, Odell, can't say enough good things about them. They are monsters. I'm just so, and like the way the Rams shut down the 49ers run game, like Elijah Mitchell was a non-factor in this game. Non-factor. And the Rams, it was so clear from the game plan. They knew exactly how to stop it. Because the thing about the Niners is they have one thing on offense. If you could put the ball in the hands of Jimmy Garoppolo, you're probably going to win the game. You're probably going to win the game. That's exactly what the Rams did. They were so hyper-focused on the run. They were not letting Deebo Samuel. They were not letting Elijah Mitchell beat them in the run game. They shut that down. Aaron Donald, EJ Gaines, and I want to say, what's his name? Ashawn Robinson, were phenomenal in shutting down the run in this game. Von Miller, too, has been all over the place in this playoff. So
recently, for sure.
Yeah. And they put like you said, Luke, like your friends were betting on like when Jimmy Garoppolo fucks up. I thought the same thing. Like as soon as there was just enough time on the clock for Jimmy Garoppolo to have one drive, I was like, okay, Rams won, whatever. Rams won.
It's when he needs to throw the ball, not when he needs to hand it off. Like, if you're at midfield, like he was against the Packers, he hand it off a few times, he'll get the job done. But like when he has to throw the ball when you're down, no, it's over. Yeah, exactly. And listen, Sean McVay, phenomenal coach. And like you said, Gage, like, I don't know who to root for in this game. I don't like and I'm like very refreshed by that. Cause this is legitimately the first Super Bowl. I have not been biased whatsoever. Like, I don't know. I'm going to be happy whoever wins, and I'm going to be sad for whoever loses. So I'm really looking forward to this. Both these teams deserved it. They fought their asses off. Matt Stafford deserves this. Odell deserves this. Cooper Kupp deserves this. Joe Burrow. And this is the way football should be capped off. This is the way an NFL season should be capped off. Not that Super Bowl 53, 13-3 bullshit in the Super Bowl between the Patriots and Rams. That was like, I shit you not, I felt so empty after that Super Bowl. I was like, what the fuck is this? But this is the way an NFL season should be capped off. And I am so excited to watch this game. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I gotta admit something real quick, and it's not gonna be easy for me to say this. Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Thank you.
He's the best. He's better than Davante Adams. And say it's recency bias all you want. You could only go off what you're seeing on the field. And this guy produces week in and week out. I feel like he's only had like maybe 2 games, 3 games this whole season with less than 100 yards receiving. Dude, the guy just put up like 11 catches for $140 and 2 touchdowns to bring his team to the Super Bowl. And I love Davante Adams. I think he's still the best route runner in the league, but holy shit, Cooper Kupp just does something from the slot. You could put him anywhere, honestly. He'll just route you up. He's so quick. He's so great at the point of the catch. Like he can catch contested. He's the best. He's the best. And I don't want to hear recency bias. Recency bias doesn't exist because the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. So yeah, I have to admit Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the game right now. That sucks for me. So
it's uncanny. Like you could say all you want about him and the biases. I think we all know with Cooper Kupp that people are listen, he is a white guy. Okay. We all know it. And I think that's people aren't going to,
no, that's a reason. That's a reason.
That's a legit reason. Yep. Why people will never giving him his due because he's like white.
Super gritty.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. High motor guy, the usual stereotypical. Yeah. But the one thing everybody's like, the comments I see anti Cooper Kupp are always, well, it's just from the slot. Well, all of his catches, they're blown coverages. It's like, first of all, no matter what, he's always open. Can you it's not like NFL teams.
Even when he's not open, he's open.
He's open. Exactly. It's not like NFL teams don't know how dominant they are. I guarantee you he's a huge part, if not the main part of their game plan going into playing the Rams is stop Cooper Kupp. Do not let 10 beat you. And he always beats you. He always does it. These are the best defensive minds in the world trying to stop this guy, and they can't do it. He's not the biggest. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. But guess what? He is a phenomenal route runner. And he will juke you out of your fucking shoes. And he just gets open. I don't care how fast he is. I don't care how big he is. The most important ability besides availability as a wide receiver is, can you get open? And Cooper Kupp does that better than anybody in the league. And it's not even a question. It's not even a question. I don't give a shit how fast DK Metcalf can run. And I'm saying that as a Seahawks fan. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care how good these guys are. They can't get open like Cooper Kupp can. And that's the end of the story. He gets open and he's the best receiver in the NFL right now.
2,200 scrimmage yards.
Ridiculous.
That's like not even, that's just stupid. That's just stupid numbers. Like that's Madden type stuff. I hope he continues his success because
and he will.
Damn, is he a good player?
Nobody's been able to stop him. Nobody.
It will be interesting to see if Tyler Higbee plays though. He got banged up against the 49ers. And I don't know what
CJ Uzama as well. So
yes. Yeah.
So both tight ends are going to be questionable.
What is his name? The second string tight end. Yes.
Yeah. He played well.
He did. He played very well with Tyler Higbee off the field. So I don't think that the Rams are going to suffer too much if Tyler Higbee isn't able to play. Yeah. I want to harp on the other Rams receiver a little bit more real quick, and Odell Beckham Jr. Because I just can't get over seeing this guy playing at this level again. Like, how are you guys going to feel? We're watching the Super Bowl. He gets in the end zone and scores a touchdown in the Super Bowl. OBJ.
He has to hit the whip. He has to hit the whip.
I think he's past the whip, but it's refreshing. I can't describe it any more than just, it's so refreshing because we all know the Hall of Fame career that he should have. And now I hope he resigns with LA. It's the perfect spot for him. Whether that means Robert Woods, doesn't have a spot there.
Imagine this team with Robert Woods right now.
Yeah, but they don't really
would be crazy.
They don't need him. They don't need him.
That's what I'm saying. But if they had him too.
Yeah. And so it's but Odell, he deserves this. He definitely deserves this. This is the career I think we all expected him to have.
He's gotten so much unwarranted hate over his career, and I'm just tired of it. I'm over it. Yeah. He's not this diva, this locker room cancer that everybody presents him as. You saw what he did with Debo. And that's not a show. That's not an act. He's not just doing that because he's like, I want to show people I'm not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He loves the game. He loves to compete, and that's who he's always been.
Yeah. I will argue though. I think he was, and I think he'd admit this too at this point. I think he was immature in New York. I think he was.
2014, 2016.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was definitely
a young
immature.
Player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I can
absolutely.
get behind
and
that.
I think he needed the time in Cleveland to, number one, humble him a little bit. And number two, just to be with Jarvis Landry. We all know the story of how influential Jarvis and Odell are in each other's lives.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and Jarvis is like basically, we all know how much of a professional Jarvis Landry is. Jarvis Landry is is a captain type player, such a professional, such a leader. And they're like brothers, basically. So for him to be with Jarvis every day, I think that really helped him to grow. And the fact that he wasn't the star there, I think kept him in check a little bit, made him learn a lot. I think his time in Cleveland might have robbed us of some spectacular plays. We're saying that. And I think he had. Didn't he have like 2,000-yard seasons or 1,000-yard season with Cleveland? He definitely had 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, he had one.
He had one. So yeah, he still had some amazing moments in Cleveland, but just like, I think he needed it. I do think he needed it for the betterment of his career. And I think him coming out on the other side is the special Odell that we're going to get to see from now on, which is.
Remember when we were talking about him choosing between like the Saints and like Green Bay earlier in the season?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Look at him now. Look at it. I mean, shit, he made the right decision. Good for Odell. Can't complain.
I said that he was going to the Rams to chase that ring, and he might get it.
Good for him.
I will say I did meet him once in the 7th grade, and he was not too kind, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Well,
Luke. It's okay.
Maybe once he wins this ring, he'll hit me back up.
Yeah, he's gonna call you and be like, "Hey, I'm just really sorry for that time in the mall where I completely ignored you."
Yeah, I mean, it hurt my feelings, but I'll hold a grudge. No, all right. Yeah. I'm gonna hold a grudge unless OBJ wins this Super Bowl. That's what I'll say.
Okay. All right. So that'll be this. Anybody knows we are in grudge watch for Luke, depending on who wins the Super Bowl here.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't want Luke to hold one of his many grudges.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. Just before we wrap it up, I want to say thank you guys for the consistent support. And of course, if you guys would be willing to do that, make sure to go to Apple Music and YouTube and Spotify and give us that 5-star rating on Apple Music and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, turn post notifications on, hit that like button. We really do appreciate it. You don't have to, but we do appreciate it. It lets us know that you guys like our content. And Gage, Luke, you guys want to wrap this up?
Now, if you've made it this far in the episode at this point and you haven't done it, I mean, what are you doing with your life? Come on.
Yeah,
let's get it together,
Come on,
guys.
Come on.
If you want to listen to more stuff, you got to support. But we'd really do appreciate it. It means the world to us. So if you want to keep up with us whenever we don't have a new episode out or you're all caught up or whatever the case may be, make sure to follow us on all of our socials. I'm Extra Points. Jake is Jake Maltese 3 and Luke is Football Fan Zone. Consistent content coming out on all of those platforms, as well as our Totally Unqualified platforms, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. So be sure to follow us there.
Yeah, and that overtime game between the Bengals and Chiefs was crazy. You know what's even crazier is this overtime app that I'm about to promote for you guys right now. Okay, let's go. Fantasy football every single week. We host it up until the Super Bowl. We're doing some mega stuff for the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. We have some great prizes as well for the winners of those matchups. So if you want to, have some fun, do some stuff. They offer more than just football, fantasy football as well as college hoops, regular NBA, and they do a bunch of other cool things on the app. So make sure to download the Overtime app using any of the link in our bios and join the Totally Unqualified fantasy pool. We host every single Sunday up until the Super Bowl. And we will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, Who Day, baby. Who Day.